Hi people, welcome to the Town Library's Story Shelf Day 4, Story 3, Part 2. And let's see what happens next. The head bobbed gently in the jar, its features puffy and pale after long decades spent soaking in formaldehyde. And yet, if one squinted at it through aged, roomy eyes precisely as Henry was doing it that very moment, it was possible that the face of the dead woman might still appear just as young as it had when the two friends had originally known her, and just as beautiful. Henry moaned softly, prompting Antony to expel as annoyed cough. Do come on, then, he grumbled. Jolted from his private fantasia, the doctor immediately leaned down to fumble at his feet. I'm sorry, please do forgive my manners, he apologized, quickly handing Antony his own gift. Merry Christmas, my oldest friend. Upon receiving the parcel, Antony's trembling hands began to fumble ineffectually at the wrapping. Cursing under his breath, he finally managed to rip aside the paper. His arthritic fingers clawing hurriedly at the small wooden box contained within, scrabbling to open its lid. Inside lay a mummified human heart, shrunken and grey. Its new custodian gazed down at it for several long seconds, his face curdling as he ingested the cold and bitter tea of remembrance. Eventually, Henry broke the silence, raising his glass in another toast to Anna. She gave her heart to another, so we were compelled to take it back, he said quietly and with a studiedly appropriate amount of regret. His eyes clouded with longing, Antony gently closed the box's lid and picked up his own glass. To Anna. For a moment, each man silently recalled the chain of events that had led them to this macabre junction. Their mutual obsession with the divine Anna, who, to their learned minds at least, had flightily encouraged their amorous attentions before callously rejecting both friends in favor of the young upstart Philip Ormsby, a lowly grocer's son at that. Poisonous humiliation of subsequently being forced to sit there in the church and watch the happy couple marry. Their determination not to let such a grievous insult go unpunished, and finally, their black revenge. Snatching Anna away while Philip was out of town on business, leaving him torturously mystified as to his missing bride's fate, and ensuring that Anna, or these two deathly synecdoches of her at least, would at last belong solely to them for as long as they both lived. Their throats suddenly growing dry with the memory of it, the two companions quickly drained their glasses. As Antony moved to refill them, his gaze was inescapably drawn to the jar sitting in Henry's lap. Please, he implored his friend, allow me one last look at her. Last. Antony's drinking really was starting to become a problem, the doctor mused. He suddenly realized he had very strong misgivings about entrusting Anna to his friend's care for the next 12 months. But what could he do? Such was the nature of the agreement the two gentlemen had made, and who could possibly argue that the two friends were not gentlemen possessing all of the attendant integrity and ethical fervour that particular title demanded. Somewhat peevishly, Henry shifted the position of his jar just enough for Antony to be able to glimpse Anna's face. As he gazed upon his beloved once again, the old man's sunken features visibly softened, the years seeming to fall away like autumn leaves. Oh, her beautiful blue eyes, he breathed softly. What did you say? Henry snapped. Antony jerked back as if burnt. I was remembering her eyes, he stammered. Antony's mouth gaped open in disbelief. Nonsense, he said. I'm telling you, brown, Henry insisted. Your memory grows ever more enfeebled with years, Antony spat. Last Christmas, you claimed that Anna's favorite color was green, when we both know it was really red. Bristling, Henry clutched the jar to his chest, hiding the head from his friend's sight. I spent hours staring into those eyes, he thundered. No entire days. Through them, I gazed into the depths of her very soul. Are you honestly suggesting I don't remember what color they were? Shaking with anger, Anthony struggled weakly to his feet. You demented old fool. Don't you dare tell me I'm wrong. Her memory is all I have. In response, Henry also heaved himself upright and thrust his face into Anthony's, his jowls wobbling with outrage. You don't deserve her. You never did. I? It was me that fought for her. You were resigned to her marrying Philip Ormsby, ready to simply roll over your back and give in, like the gutless dog that you are. Then who was the gutless dog that cowered in their bed while I visited her on that final evening? Which one of us hid behind closed doors as I took my surgeon's scalpel and cut into Anna's flawless throat, weeping as I watched the precious life ebbing out of her? Cur, poltron, drunk. Anthony's sallow features grew uncharacteristically flushed as his skinny hands clenched into frail, tumbleweed fists. For a moment, Henry thought his friend was about to strike him, only for the other man to dart forward and wrench the bell jar from his unsuspecting grip instead. Holding the trophy aloft, Anthony pirouetted like a crazed stork towards the fireplace, as though performing a bizarre dance macabre with his lost love. If I can't have her, then no one will. No! Henry screamed. Too late. Anthony cast the jar into the fire with a manic screech of triumph. The glass immediately shattered with the heat, sending the formaldehyde contained inside spilling into the flames. Instantly, a loud explosion belched forth from the hearth, scorching Anthony's face and hands and sending him crashing backwards onto the carpet.